I put it, no team have won 4 Premier Leagues consecutive in a row. Yet.
Manchester City, history makers.
19th May 2024. Manchester City made history. Yes, we're talking about the 4 peat. On 19th May 2024, Manchester City became the first club ever in the history of English top flight to win 4 league titles on the trot. Ever. It's never been done before in the history of English top flight. A history that spans over 130 years. That's monumental. Never been done before. And before people start with the asterisks and 115 charges, we know that we've covered them in these videos and await judgment just like everyone else. Also, we have said before that whatever the verdict is, at the end of the day, these performances have had to happen on the field. So we'll cross the Rubicon when the time comes. As of now, we can still marvel at the achievement that has never happened in the history of English top flight football. I mean, imagine the long history of English top flight from the establishment of Football League in 1888 to this day, with various big clubs dominating certain times, and yet it never happened before. It did not happen for Liverpool, who had won 19 league titles even before the Premier League was established, or for Manchester United, who won 13 league titles from the time Premier League was established in 1992 till the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson in 2013, a 20-year period. Boy, isn't that crazy. Consider subscribing to our channel. It's free and helps us a ton. Thanks. So how did Manchester City do it? Well, for starters, they have an excellent squad built over the years by spending a lot of money. But just the mere presence of great team and an excellent squad and a lot of money does not win you titles consistently. I mean, look at Manchester United and the 2 billion spent in the last decade or so. Also, Manchester City have had good teams ever since the money came in. They had a pretty good squad in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 too. But the success was never this profound. So what's the factor in this? Well, it's 2016 and a certain bald manager took over. Yes, we're talking about Pep Guardiola. If you followed our channel for any amount of time, you know that we are huge admirers of Pep Guardiola. Pep's work at Barcelona and Bayern Munich was stellar, but Manchester City was a different challenge. Unlike Spain or Germany, the competition was way fiercer with teams that were far more established in the upper echelon of the Premier League. While in Spain or Germany, you had maybe 2 or 3 clubs that regularly challenged for the league title. At the time of Pep's appointment, England had as many as 6, from the old heavyweights like Manchester United and Arsenal to a resurgent Liverpool and a resilient Tottenham Hotspurs to the newly minted Chelsea and Manchester City. Not to forget that the season before Pep Guardiola's appointment, Leicester City had won the league. So unlike a lot of leagues across Europe, the English top flight was truly competitive. Pep was walking into a team that had won only 2 league titles since the money came in 2008 and had a miserable 2015-16 season. It was a team with aging stars and needed a proper rebuild. Even a serial winner like Guardiola struggled in his first season with this team, finishing merely 3rd, 15 points behind the league winners Chelsea. Pep was tasked with turning around a good but underachieving team to perennial winners. That was no easy task. And yet, over the next 7 years, he did just that. From 2017 to the current year, Manchester City have won 6 of the 7 league titles, and that includes 4 league titles on the trot. How did this happen? Did the league regress? Did Manchester City become way better than everyone else? Maybe a little bit of both, or something maybe entirely different. Well, there is a narrative taking hold that the Premier League is becoming a farmers' league, that Manchester City's continued quote-unquote dominance of the league is making the league more and more uncompetitive. This couldn't be farther from the truth though. Truth be told, the competition in the Premier League has only become more intense. Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp became a perennial challenger for the league after years of underperformance. Arsenal under Arteta has found a new lease on life. Chelsea and Manchester United have kept spending money like there's no tomorrow with varying degree of success, if you want to call it that. Tottenham Hotspurs are, well, Tottenham Hotspurs. But it's not just about the big six. Clubs like Aston Villa and Brighton have become more and more competent. Aston Villa under Unai Emery just qualified for the Champions League for the first time since 1982. Newcastle United under the Saudi PIF regime and under Eddie Howe's tutelage is a way more competitive unit compared to what they were under Mike Ashley. The Premier League is awash with money, and even a mid-table Premier League club can outbid a top German or Italian club. Such is the financial power of the current Premier League. Just to remind everyone of how tight the Premier League races have become in the last few years, 3 of Manchester City's 6 league titles under Guardiola have been decided on the final day. 2 of those 4 peat league titles were decided on the final day, with Liverpool missing out by 1 point in 21-22 season, while Arsenal finished behind City by just 2 points in the 23-24 season. That's not an indication of a league that's unhealthy or uncompetitive. If anything, it's a testament to the mental fortitude of Manchester City under Pep, because before his arrival, City were a team who had an eye-pleasing squad and a playing style that was amazing to look at, but a soft underbelly who would capitulate under pressure. At least in the title race for the league, this is no longer true, and this is why it's almost become inevitable that if your club is competing with Manchester City on the final day, it's almost impossible to win the league. But that is less dominance and more excellence and perseverance. Manchester City's performances have helped raise the game of all of the Premier League. More and more clubs are in search of their own Guardiola, or a manager that at least believes in the Guardiola ethos. But let's be honest, the 4-peat will never receive the adulation it deserves because it's Manchester City. Even if the 115 charges get resolved and City goes scot-free, the reputation will follow. And we believe it's somewhat unfair because whatever we think about the perceived and alleged corruption within the club, and mind you, neither Man City nor the Premier League is blameless in any of this, it's the players and the coach who achieved it on the pitch. It's the players and the coach who worked hard on and off the pitch and deserve the recognition. In fact, due to the warranted or unwarranted criticism of the club, some myths about Manchester City keep being propagated, like how they can field 2 first-team 11s or have a deep squad, both of which are false. In fact, Manchester City has the smallest senior squad of all clubs. Their depth in quality and the versatility of the players is often mistaken for them having a large superior squad to every other club. Another factor for the 4-peat not being recognized as this big deal is how one-sided leagues outside of England have been in recent years. Spain, Germany, France, Italy have all suffered from being dominated by a couple of clubs. Spain have had Real Madrid, Barcelona, and on occasion Atletico Madrid as the top contenders. Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga 11 times in a row, while Juventus won the Serie A 9 times consecutively, and their reigns have only just come to an end in the last few years. France has been dominated by PSG. In those circumstances, winning 4 league titles on the trot in England feels small time. It is, however, anything but small time. As we've said before, the Premier League is the most competitive league, and winning back-to-back league titles, leave alone winning 4 times in a row, is a huge accomplishment. We are at the cusp of the 2024-25 Premier League season. Most clubs are deep into negotiations with their transfer targets and are preparing for yet another long season. Will they have what it takes to beat Manchester City this time, or will Manchester City do a very thinkable and go for a 5-peat? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Like if you liked it, share if you find it worthy, and subscribe for more content like this. This is Salty Football.